So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZWGames5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
What's up YouTube, Dad of Wargames, bringing you a test hand video for the Time Thief deck profile that I showed you guys the other day. So obviously Time Thieves are a brand new art type that came out in Savage Strike. All common, all cheap to pick up, so there's no reason why you shouldn't get them. They are incredibly fun, and they do have their nice little power plays with the XYZ monster, and hopefully we'll be getting a lot more support for these coming up in the future. So I definitely advise picking them up and giving them a go. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our standard test hands of 2 going first, 2 going second, and show you what this deck can do. So after a fairly decent shuffle and a fairly decent cut, our opening hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's not the end of the world that we've actually drawn the Brilliant Fusion, because we do play Instant Fusion as well. The Brigadine's not the end of the world either. That's actually very, very good in this one. So what you do is you normal summon the Scorpio, use Scorpio's effect to get rid of one of the Bazel ships. Even better that it's Bazel because you get to bring it back. Go into Cobra. Cobra's effect then goes off and gives you Instant Fusion. Then link these guys together and go into your YUGIOH. Activate Brilliant Fusion. Oh, that stays on the field. Activate your Brilliant Fusion, send in your Damage Juggler, and of course your Garnet. Where are you, Garnet? There we go. Send your Garnet, giving you your Seraphinite. We're going to move a little bit further forward ahead, so we're going to banish the Damage Juggler as well once your Seraphinite is on board, and we're going to search out our Hat Tricker. There we go, and then the Seraphinite's there. So you've now been granted an additional normal, which will probably be of your Bazel ship. Then what we're going to do is we'll use the additional normal to get the Bazel ship on board. You could use an Instant Fusion if you want, but you'd need a dark target for that. Special summon the Hat Tricker, make sure it goes in the center zone, or of course over here. You then link these, the Time Basil and the YUGIOH together, and go into your Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardarouche, or Bardiche. Then use his effect to send, obviously if you played Fogblade in the deck, then of course that's still very, very good as well, because then you could search it out if you draw into any of these. Send the Phantom Knights to set the spell directly from your deck. Now you've got a couple of ways of extension on this one. Is you can go into Instant Fusion or the Trap. Now I would say go with the Instant Fusion because we want to save the Trap. So the Trap I'll explain later in a minute why you want to save it. So we Instant Fusion into any level 4. Overlay these guys here and go into your Time Thief Redoer. Then use Redoer's effect to detach both materials and banish itself. This then triggers and summons back the Time Thief Bazel ship. You then of course set your Phantom Knights of Brigadine, activate your Phantom Knights of Brigadine, bring it out, and then overlay both these guys into a Redoer. Now of course with this you've got a Redoer that has a trap on as well, so you can bounce one of your opponent's monsters. During the end phase, this Time Thief comes back. During your opponent's turn, do not use this effect. Use this guy's effect. So it's a choose, so you can attach the top card of your opponent's deck. So you go, chain it 1, don't use this effect. There is a reason you don't use this effect. So use this guy's effect, bring a material to itself. Then you can either wait to get the pop off of using this effect, or you just do it straight away so your opponent does not have the ability to use hand traps. It's entirely up to you. So you'd activate the rank up, you would turn Redoer into your Azathoth. Your opponent now cannot use monster effects. If they want to get rid of Seraphinite because it's a 0, they can then send normal summon a monster. Now if they do that, of course you can use Redoer's effect to detach the Brigadine. Brigadine would then bounce your opponent's monster. You draw a card. Monster Reborn is great. So you can use Monster Reborn, bring back any of the monsters you want, or alternatively, because you've bounced the one monster they've used without using a monster effect, you can switch Seraphinite to attack, use Brilliant Fusion's effect to ditch this. Redoer, of course, would attach another one from your opponent's deck. If it's a spell, great, you're detaching and drawing. Other than that, you've got a 24, 24, 21 and a 23 going in for game. Obviously, alternative, because it was Monster Reborn, if you were to bring back maybe YUGIOH would then boost all of these guys, so you'd leave that in defense. So you'd then calculate that this gives an extra 2k on board, plus the 14, so you actually get an extra 34 damage with YUGIOH on the board over the 23 of Seraphonite. Entirely up to you. Like I said, if it's a draw, you can then use the additional normal on Seraphonite and extend your board even further. So that is probably like the best board that this deck can make. Disruption plus, well, that was 3 disrupts basically, because you had a bounce. If you waited, you had the pop off of Bardiche, sorry, and then you had the bounce from Redoer, you had the Azathoth negation, and then you had the pop off of Bardiche. So very, very good kind of board and play. Do not expect that every single turn, because you do need the Brilliant Fusion engine to push that one through. Luckily, Brilliant Fusion Supers are like $5, so go pick those up while you can. 1 is enough. It's got so many ways of searching it, because you go straight into Lone Fire, gets you into your Scorpio. If you want to go Scorpio at 3, you can go Scorpio at 3. Obviously, the biggest downside is you don't want to add more Cobras or Garnets, because you just brick a little bit more. Okay, so now we're moving on to our second test hand, going first. So after a very decent shuffle and a decent cut, our opening hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Apparently this deck likes me to see one-offs, don't know why. Okay, we're going to use our Rhoda. That one we would like to hope can bait out an Ash or anything that might cause us issues if your opponent doesn't know what you're playing. Search out your Goblinberg. Normal summon your Goblinberg, use the effect to bring out your Lone Fire. Lone Fire's effect, get rid of itself. Go through the second copy of itself, wherever we are. There we go, and then of course we've got the one in hand, so you'd go into your Scorpio. Scorpio's effect would then ditch the Lone Fire. Lone Fire's effect, not Lone Fire's effect. Scorpio's effect would resolve and giving you Cobra. Cobra's effect then goes off to give you the Brilliant Fusion. Where are you, Brill? There we go, it brings you the Brilliant Fusion. Then of course, link these guys together, go into your YUGIOH. You could go into Underclock Taker as well, it really doesn't have to be YUGIOH, it just needs to be a link to Dark. Activate your Brilliant Fusion. Send in, of course, your Damage Juggler and your Garnet, banishing the Damage Juggler to give you your Hat Tricker. There we go. Seraphonite obviously gives you the additional normal, so make sure Seraphonite is over here, because what you want to do is you want to be putting the Bardiche here, Bardiche here, so you need the middle zone and the extra zone 3, just in case you can make 2 Redoers. Special summon your Hat Tricker there, additional normal of your Regulator there. Link those guys together, go into your Phantom Knights of Bardiche. Bardiche's effect, send Boots, and like I said, this is where I'm tempted to play like Fog Blade, because it gives you an alternative if you don't want to go into Azathoth, and it also gives you a very, very nice disruption card. If you set that, set the trap card. To be honest, you didn't need to use the Hat Tricker, you could have kept that in hand. It's just an additional extension. Or you hold on to the Brigadine, because if you want the Azathoth play, which I personally think is the better option, you want to go Redoer, use Redoer's effect, detach the 2 materials, banish itself, end phase. Redoer comes back, so you get him out of a extra monster zone, then during your opponent's turn you turn it straight into Azathoth. Your opponent's not doing anything that turn. We're going to shuffle up. If you waited a little bit, of course, you'd get the Brigadine effect, Bardiche effect to pop. Draw a card, all we need is a level 4, Armageddon Knight, great. Normal summon the Armageddon Knight effect to send the Bazel ship. I don't think we had a Bazel in the graveyard beforehand, did we? No. So send the Bazel ship, activate the Brigadine. Brigadine overlays on top of Phantom Knight. Go into a Redoer. Of course, you've got other rank 4s you can go into, your Tornado Dragon, your Abyss Dweller, or you go to a Link 2, entirely up to you. Redoer can then detach the Brigadine, And of course, if they put a monster in there to kill the Seraphonite, let's say they've killed the Seraphonite, doesn't really matter. You then use Redoer to bounce it. You go 24, 21, 24. Quick maths is 69. And then, of course, that's where an issue, not a major issue, but that's where an issue could arise, is now you're sitting on, your opponent's on 69, they've got 11 left, but they can now break your board. Or actually, this would have popped a card and then bounced the card as well, so because of Bardiche. You then pass your opponent's turn, this then attaches from the top of your opponent's deck. If it gets a trap, happy blooming days, because then you've got another disruption. If it doesn't, then if it's a spell call, you're going to get an additional draw. You've got to be quite careful. If you can't kill your opponent, you've got to make sure that they can't come back and kill you, basically. But with a bouncer, you know what they're going to top deck, actually, because if you bounce that, you know exactly what they're going for. So, if you bounce something that's useless to them, like a back row that's a trap, you bounce that, then they ain't going to be coming back at you, are they? Anyway, that was it for test hands going first. Now, let's go second. Let's see what the Sip card can do. Now, obviously, the issue with this deck is the Sip card could be that core card for your Brilliant Fusion play. Ideally, we hope it isn't. So, after a very decent shuffle and a very decent cut, our test hand going second will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. So good. Glad that wasn't a part of the Brilliant play and we would have been boned. Anyway, normal summon a Goblin Bird. Goblin Bird's effect go into Scorpio. If they want to do anything, of course, you've got Caught by the Grave. Scorpio's effect, ditch the second Scorpio because that's going to be of no use to you. Go into Cobra. Cobra's effect gets you the Brilliant. Go get rid of these guys. Go into your Wee Witch. Activate the Brill. Brill stays on the board. Done that twice now. Activate the Brill. You've already got the Hat Tricker, so you want to send the Clown. Clown and Garnet. Alright, Seraphonite. Seraphonite over there again. Clown, pay a stack, it comes back. Your opponent wants to try and ash you or anything, you've got the Call by the Grave to deal with that. The issue here is we don't actually have a dark monster. So you would have to use Living Fossil to bring back your Scorpio, just to give you that additional dark without using having to go an extension further. You could go into the XYZ if you wanted to, or of course you go into Underclock, but you know, you might as well use the Living Fossil because it's not going to do you a huge favour pushing further forward now. Don't know why that's in there. Going into your Brigadine, your Bardiche, sorry, over here. This then falls off, Scorpio gets banished. Still got the additional normal for Seraphonite, don't forget. Brigadine's Bardiche's effect goes off and sends Boots. Now we're going second, so we very rarely are we going to need to go into Azathoth, but you might as well for... where are you? So we're going to get the quick play, and then of course we're going to banish Boots and get to the trap. There we go, so the quick play is now set. The Brigadine is in hand. If you fear that your opponent's got monster effects on board, then you'd do it the other way around. You would set the trap, search this out, and then this way you can play it. Actually, no, you couldn't because you'd have to banish, but ignore me on that one. Always set that. Dear. Anyway, let me just check that we've got everything. Yeah, we've got enough to keep going. So you'd overlay this, go into a Redoer. You don't have to go into a Redoer, of course. You can go into a Tornado Dragon, Abyss Dweller, whatever kind of deals with your opponent's back row as much. Set the trap, play the trap. Special the Hat Tricker, overlay. Of course, you could pop off the Bardiche as well. Go into the second Redoer. Make sure you use this Redoer's effect because it's got the trap to bounce one. So you've popped one and bounced one. And then you attack your opponents. You'd go... actually, to get the Azathoth, you would have to banish this card, but that's up to you guys. Because then if you were to use the effect and banish it, depending if you want to bounce one of your opponent's monsters or not, it doesn't really matter. You could save this till the end phase. And then what you could do is you go attack, 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 after popping one. And then during the end phase, detach two, one monster and the trap to bounce a card and banish this card. Then during the end phase, this guy comes back over here. That then allows you to do your standby opponent Standby to attach from their deck. Flip the Phantom Knights, turn the Redoer into your Azathoth, shuts them down for the turn, and pops a card as well. So, again, that's another angle. I think this is the better angle in the sense because as long as you can break their board and deal with their board, and they haven't got anything shutting you out completely, you've done your damage already, then you're shutting them down for their second turn. And if you've broken the board already, you've put them in a bad state, and then you're going to shut them out for the turn, go back to your turn, and hopefully finish the job off as well. Anyway, let's do our last test hand going second. So after a decent shuffle and a fairly decent cut, our last test hand going second will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent again. We do have nice fodder for the Allure of Darkness target. And then, of course, we've got the Call by the Grave to protect our Line Fire, because we're going to do the whole Line Fire combo. Let's do... you can save this for your additional normal, to be honest. You don't need to use this right now, but get it on the board. Do the whole Line Fire combo. Call by the Grave them if they try to ash you or anything. I'm going to try and go all the way through it to save us a bit of time, because we know where this is ending, but we want to try and do as much damage on the board as possible. And then you make sure you discard the Bazel shit, because you're going to be able to bring that back later. Lone Fire, Garnet, Brill, Lone Fire. We're going to get the Hat Trigger to the hand. We're going to get the Damage Juggler into the grave. We're going to banish the Damage Juggler to get the Hat Trigger. We're going to link. Obviously, this is all out of sequence. This is just to speed it up, guys. You should know this by now. We've done this like 3 or 4 times in this test stand. So you link those guys together, go into your YUGIOH, activate the Brilliant, send the Garnet and Damage Juggler to the graveyard to get yourself out your Seraphonite. You then banish the Damage Juggler to search out your Hat Trigger, because then you've got an additional free summon. You've got an additional normal summon as well. You've sent your Bazel ship off your Scorpion, so it's in the graveyard. Then what we're going to do is we're going to normal summon our Regulator for the additional normal, because we need an extra Dark Monster. We're going to link those guys together and go into our Rusty Bardiche, which is going to go over this side. Doesn't really matter where that one is. Rusty Bardiche's effect is going to send and set. We're going to get that eventually. So we're going to send Boots to set the rank up. We're then going to banish Boots to get the trap. We're going to set the trap. We've got the special summon off of Hat Trigger as well, which is good. Because then what you can do, if you want to, is special summon the Hat Trigger, overlay here. If they've got back row, like you can save your Redoer on this one. If they got back row, you go into Tornado Dragon. Use the effect to detach to pop one of the back row. That will then trigger Bazel ship. Bazel ship comes back. I believe we could have put Seraphonite in attack, to be honest. We could have done, because of the Allure of Darkness. You either play the Allure of Darkness or you play Seraphonite, and because we're going more second, let's put Seraphonite in attack. When this guy's at fusion, so one Juggernaut fusion monster free edge, they use them. Change attack to 0 if Skull is field destroy once per turn, discard once per. Yeah, so we might as well put it in attack, just to go out for that extra bit. And then of course we've got the Brigadine trap, so that comes back here. We're going to overlay those guys and go to Redoer. Redoer could detach just the trap, and then you're not going to be doing your. You can do your Azathoth play. I think it's got to go over a dark. Yeah, it's got to go over a dark. So you couldn't do it over Tornado Dragon, but banish the trap to, or detach the trap, sorry, to bounce one. Ditch Allure of Darkness to give Seraphonite a 23. We've already popped one as well, because when Redoer summon, Bardiche goes off to pop one. Then you're going in for 21, 24, 21, and 23. Alternatively, like I said, you can keep the trap, like I said in the last hand test hand English. You could attack with this, do all the damage you need to. Then if you want the Azathoth play, you detach 2, banish this, bounce one of your opponent's cards, end phase, this comes back here. Standby, do not use his effect. Let your opponent do anything. If they've got more, you can detach again and pop one of the back rows. That would then trigger Bazel ship to come back as well, because it's left as a material, it doesn't get banished. Keep going, and then you could rank up, go into your Azathoth. So I mean, if they've got loads of back row, or if they've just got monsters that you haven't been able to clear off, you probably should have with all of this, then you go into Azathoth, and then that would trigger Bardiche to pop a card as well. So that is it. It's very, very fun. I think, I can't wait to see what new support they get. I hope they get a support that kind of, you know, I want like a Satellarknight Vega that can summon itself. We've already got the Searcher in the Time Wizard kind of guy. Where is he? There you go, Time Winder. So I'm hoping we're going to get more support. I'm hoping it is going to turn into like a Satellarknight based deck with a bit more, you know, just rank 4 spam power. That's ideally what I would like to see from this deck. Anyway, I hope this helps. I hope this gives you an idea of how the deck plays and operates, especially on a budget version as well. Like I said, if you want to put more money in there, instead of going into all these XYZs, which is kind of what the deck wants to do, you can go into your Link 4s and stuff like that. It's still very, very fun, very, very powerful, and I fully enjoy playing this deck. So, you know, pick it up very cheap and easy while you can. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.
What's up, YouTube? Dad here from Zephyr Wargames. Thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, please hit that big thumbs up button in the bottom corner as well. And don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. Make sure you click that notification bell as well so you know every time one of our new videos goes up. Throughout the whole year of 2019, we're going to have more deck profiles, duels, and of course pack openings for you guys to watch and enjoy the entire year round. So stay tuned for more, and as always guys, happy dueling.